Welcome back to East Grinstead Hockey TV and our second live stream of the evening as Ireland men in white play against an English Premier League All-Stars side. And we'll just reset the scores. I'd like to introduce you to our guest commentator, Andy Halliday.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. And we are underway for this one. It should be a cracker. We've got the All-Stars, who are in the dark shirts, white shorts, against the Ireland International Men, who are playing in their change strip of white. We're accustomed to see them in their sort of customary green tops, but they're in white this evening. This is part of the Greys Invitational weekend, where Ireland have brought across their men's and women's international teams to play against English teams who are selected from the National League. As Ireland on the attack straight away. Oh, good save. And that was a half opportunity for Noah Mulvey. That shot. Smart save from, I think it's Max Christopher in goal for the All-Stars. And immediately we're seeing these teams on the front foot. Two shooting opportunities in that first minute and a half as James Carson there with the shot, which flies into Stephen O'Keefe's side netting. So Ireland, the ball just outside the circle. Ed Haller, and somehow that has got through. So Ed Haller opens the scoring for the All-Stars with a reverse stick effort that I think Stephen O'Keefe will probably not want to see that one again. I'm quite sure how it crept in, but it seemed to sort of go under his right kicker as Ed Haller, one of these players, one of the top scorers in the National League, former England indoor international, and he's opened the scoring, and he will shoot from anywhere. And that's the thing with indoor hockey. Get the ball going at the goal. Two teams, 6 aside, smaller version of the outdoor game. The ball must stay on the floor unless you are shooting at goal. And interesting that two very well-known coaches to East Grinstead coaching this All-Stars team, Ashley Jackson and brother Wes. Oh, there's the initial chance with that ball slipped to Nick Nurse, Surbiton. O'Keefe makes amends with the save there. Again, the turnover on the top of the circle. That deemed to be dangerous from James Carson. James Carson, old Georgians. Ashley Jackson has been coaching indoors and outdoors this year. Very much on the front foot. We saw in the women's game how both teams were really keen to get on the front foot to put the opposition under pressure. Exactly the same in this game. We're seeing both teams pressing pretty high as the All-Stars roll the subs. And there's a familiar face here at St Hill, Simon Faulkner, in that customary position of left defender. Very out of character. He's given the ball away, but they've won it back, and here's a chance down the right boards. Immediately, white shirts around the ball. Here's a chance for a counter-attack for Ireland. And as you watch, Harry McGuigan in goal for the All-Stars. I think I said it was Max Christopher to start. No, it's Harry McGuigan. Wimbledon. Again, plenty of space to play in for both teams. ball on the stick of Max Lowry. East Grinstead. As Ireland roll the substitutions. What a fairly frenetic start to this one. We are 4 minutes in. The All-Stars have the lead. But it's real end-to-end. Long corner. So far, it's a sort of game of error, but there's the equaliser. That's a great finish, and the celebration to go with it. That's great use of very, very tight space there on the top of the circle, and we've got a big goalkeeper like McGuigan. That ball thrown hard and low into the corner. Movement off the ball. Simon Faulkner, very much the quarterback, if you like. He's the one who gets things going from the back. And bearing in mind these players have only had one training session together this afternoon, I think these All-Stars are connecting rather well. The ball moved very, very quickly. It's the pace of the pass and the speed of transition. So you'll see the ball come onto the stick, pace of the pass, and then it's moved straight away. The idea with indoor hockey is to try and, you can play the ball down the middle, great, but defensively keep the ball on the outside, keep it wide. Good connection play that from the All-Stars. Haller just takes a little bit too long and the ball ends up on his foot. I think that might be a green card. Ed Haller. I'm not a betting man. And Ireland find the net and the lead. And that's a fine effort. I'm quite sure it's squeezed in that near post. A great finish, real power on that finish. Above the left shoulder. I think it was Craig Mackay. I think who got that one. So Ireland 2, All-Stars 1. After the All-Stars went ahead, it's the green card for Ed Haller. What I was going to say, I'm not a betting man. However, if somebody said to me, who do you think the first person that might get a card in this game?
Couldn't possibly comment.
As Ed now comes back onto the pitch. And that's a danger, and that will be a green card for Ireland. Yeah. You can't play the ball through a set player. That is dangerous. I think that's James Walker who's got a green card for Ireland. So the All-Stars now have the extra player for 1 minute. Green card in indoor hockey, 1 minute. Yellow card, 2 minutes, although it can be a 4-minute yellow card. As Dan O'Daly gets the ball in play for Ireland. And the game is become a little fractured. I use that phrase where a lack of discipline in the way these two teams are defending means there's too much space and a lot of breakdown, which you'd expect early on in a game like this, particularly with teams who probably, well, Ireland would have been travelling all day, and of course with Gatwick nearby, probably not too much of a tough journey. Quite a few of their players are based here as they're now back to their full quota. But for this All-Stars team, one training session, and I doubt many of them have played indoor hockey since probably back end of January. Haller again carries into the circle, surrounded by white shirts, but tries to fire that ball across to Nick Nurse. Wimbledon trying to find a Surbiton player. Normally they're
not the sort of sentence you'd find yourself saying that often.
No, two of the biggest rivals.
Hey.
And there's the Irish third goal. Lovely play. It was that extra pass there. And Killian Steps, the Irish under-18 international, gets their third goal. Grew up in Germany, Killian Steps. He has a very good pedigree of indoor hockey. Ball.
It's quite physical. You can see they've hand on the left hand on the ground and physical tackling. I think there might be some individual rivalries here.
Without doubt, individual rivalries. And there's the penalty corner that's given against Harry Dagg for that tackle. He didn't get himself in the right position to be able to make a clean tackle. And it's penalty corner.
So is that Carson number 11? No?
Ed Haller.
Ed Haller.
11. I think it will go to him. Carson on the slip. So you've got Wimbledon OGs and Sam Wood on the left-hand side.
Oh, broke the line. That
will be a player who will now have to go up to the opposition circle, which happens in indoor hockey. So they will now have to defend with one field player less. All the slips. That's a good routine and a great finish. Really, really good finish from James Carson. And it was the speed of the slip. We saw in the women's game that the connections at corners just weren't slick enough. There, Haller has just got it on his stick and he slipped it straight away as we reach the end of this first quarter. And 3-2. Well, 5 goals. I think if we end up with a 10-all draw at the end of this, I think we'll all go home happy. But that was a very open first quarter. And if I were, well, both coaches, I'd be saying, can you tighten it up a little bit? There's just too much, say, fractured play. There's too much space available. We just need to tighten things up. Ireland, after going a goal down in that first minute, hitting back and going 3-1 ahead. And then that lovely slipped penalty corner at the end there. So 3-2 and entertaining stuff. This Irish team, who I felt were actually very unlucky to get relegated from the top division of European indoor hockey. They got promoted, played for the first time in the top level of European international hockey in Heidelberg in January, but ended up missing out. So they've got to play in the second string in the next competition, which is not this year, but next year, be 2028. But it's good to see indoor hockey being taken seriously in Ireland. Most of these players pay their way, as there's the shooting opportunity coming in there from Noah Mulvey. Yeah, it's the thing a lot of people don't realise. These are internationals. That ball just runs off. Carson can't keep it in, runs off the end of the pitch. What I think a lot of people don't realise is that the Ireland indoor internationals, they are self-funded. So, they are performance athletes, but they have to pay their own way. And that's decent play from Fergus Jackson. East Grinstead, but the ball turned over. Good play down the boards from Ireland, but again, great defence. Getting 2 sticks around the ball straight away. Isaac Farrant there from Guildford. Coached by Dan Fox down at Guildford. There's that ball thrown off the end of the pitch. The game just feels like it's just settling a little in this second quarter. Both teams have felt each other out in that first very frenetic quarter of hockey. Plenty of goals, plenty of opportunity. And Ireland will look to build from the back. James Walker, no way down those left boards, so he will recycle. That's lovely play from Noah Mulvey. And Walker again turned over. Here's the counter-attack opportunity. The carry from Jackson. The reverse stick shot. O'Keefe again having to be smart on his line.
One of the skills I think indoor teaches is if your first touch is not perfect, how do you quickly recover the ball for the team and reset? As opposed to how do you mistrap the ball and persist with your planned action? I think you have to have real presence of mind at all times.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons, Simon, that it's such a great developer for outdoor hockey, because it's actually about getting your feet in the right position. So it's not just around the first touch. So the first touch has got to take the ball immediately to where it goes for the next pass or the next action. So, and a great example of that is if you're receiving a ball on the backhand, you have to step forward with the left foot, which is unnatural because you are moving your head towards the ball. But if you step towards it with the left foot, the first touch is going to take the ball outside the right foot, which is where you want it. So if you step back with the left foot, you've then got to adjust your feet. So you're exactly right. It's the speed of the pass, it's the receipt, and it's getting your feet in the right place for the next action. And that's a lovely little dummy down those left boards. And spin, that'll be a card. Spinning into the defender. Oh, it's a yellow card. So that's a 2-minute suspension. Alex Miles, Canadian umpire.
Yellow card for?
I couldn't see who it was. The guy didn't catch the number.
English or Irish?
Oh, sorry, for Ireland. Yeah, yellow card Ireland. So the umpires will be very hot on danger. So if a player is set in front of the ball and you try and spin through that player, then you'll be penalised. It's happened once, green card. If it happens a second time, yellow card. And the reason that rule was brought in is purely to protect the players, because if a player is set in front of another player who is in possession of the ball and he tries to play it through him, the chances are that you will get quite a bad injury. Fingers on the stick. But I'm gonna swing the lamp a little bit here, and I'm gonna say, in my day. So you'll see most players when we coach indoor hockey, we get players to put their left hand down flat on the floor. So when they're in front of the ball, present that flat stick by getting the left hand low, which is why they're all wearing. It's a lovely finish from Haller. Great play. And Haller just picks his spot. And I beg your pardon, it's not O'Keefe. It's Ewan Mackay, I think, Ewan Mackay in there. I believe in the Ireland goal, but a lovely finish. And again, the step up. So 3-3.
So question, when you're playing, you've got 4 players on the field against 5. If you're the defensive team, what do? Sit back, deep defence?
You sit deep, so you compress the space that the opposition can play in. So you would effectively defend a third of the pitch, and you set yourself up in a, well, I'll call it a box. I'm trying to think. It's. I was doing some commentary, and I had a co-commentator. I think it was Janet Jack from Scotland who sat next to me, and she used the phrase. We were talking about just that. You know, what do you do when you play her down? She said you form a rhomboid.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm an ex-copper, box in a slightly slanty shape rather than talking about a rhomboid. But yeah, so you are defending for a minute. If you're the attacking team, you are trying to create in that 1 minute just one scoring opportunity. So you try and build a penalty corner, winning a penalty corner or a shot at goal. So yeah, rhomboid, box, sit deep, compress the space where the opposition can play.
And do you just keep giving the ball back to the opposition so you can defend that space? Or
Well,
do you
there
try
are
to
some
keep
teams. There are some teams that do that,
Right.
where you throw the ball off the end because you know you're going to get a full press coming your way when you're in possession. So actually, sometimes it is easier to say to the opposition, "Come on, then, break us down." So we are 3-3, just over 2 minutes left of this first half. It's exciting stuff so far. A couple of green cards, yellow card.
6 goals?
6 goals. I certainly think in these men's games over the weekend, we're not going to see a goal famine. That's probably the curse. So Simon Faulkner on once again, who's controlling things with Fergus Jackson, 2 East Grinstead players on at the back. And again, really good defensive, getting 3 navy blue shirts around the ball straight away. They're moving the ball quickly. Got an EG back 3 on at the moment with Dylan Holland, Simon Carson, Fergus Jackson. So you'll see all the, as we were mentioning earlier when Simon and I were discussing this, getting low, getting the right body position. See young players watching, just watch the way that these teams without the ball defend. The way they've got their hands really, really low. They don't go in and tackle, they just present a barrier in front of the ball. Great play from Rory Patterson. Wimbledon there, being able to spin and get that shot going on target. Ryan Williams carries into the circle. So we're not seeing as much turnover in this game as we did in the earlier women's game. So the 2 teams are more set on the ball. That one is turned over. Oh, and a great bit of skill. Again, it's creating that extra space from Williams to be able to shoot at goal. So he's carried the ball away from the defender on the right foot there. So there you have it. We reach half time, and rather like the women's game, the 2 teams are locked at 3-3. And it's been a very, very open affair so far. So if I was sitting in the shoes of Kenny Carroll with Ireland and Ashley Jackson, I'd just be talking about tightening the game up a little bit. It's the broken play, it's the fractured play where the scoring opportunities have come from. Kenny Carroll taking his team outside. It's a pretty warm day. I'm looking at my watch. It's sort of saying 20 degrees here in East Grinstead this evening. I'm not certainly a little warmer here in the suite. But both teams have gone outside. Half time. Interesting from a coaching perspective. Half time. How much do you change tactically? How well drilled are these 2 teams? Well, certainly with the all-stars team, it's very, very difficult to change too much tactically because they simply haven't played together. Whereas this Irish team, I believe they've got 3 new players who have come in since the Europeans, and so they'll be bedding them in. But I think generally both coaches will be happy. It's interesting that the different styles that you see in the English National League, so Surbiton, Wimbledon, Old Georgians, East Grinstead to a certain extent play a very similar sort of style. Yes, a few little different nuances around the way they defend and what they try and do with the ball, but generally I've been really quite impressed with the way that these teams have been able to immediately go on and almost connect, both defensively and when in possession. As we look at this fine facility here at East Grinstead, new boards, I believe, and new goals as well. And I understand, Simon, that you just need a little bit more length on the pitch and you'd be really happy.
Yeah, so if you're watching East Grinstead Sports Club charity, we just like an extra 10 metres, if we can, just preferably on the right-hand side, because that would just encroach on the car parking. I think if we put 10 metres on the left-hand side, we'd have to invade the squash court, so I don't think that would go down so well.
So you need a little bit more than Nick Knowles turning up
Yes.
on a sort of DIY SOS. It needs to be a knock down a wall, build an extra 10 metres.
I think we're blessed, though. We are getting a new AstroTurf in June. And there is Eva Gilbert. Not sure if you're familiar with Eva Gilbert. She does a lot of the photography, and she lives quite close by. And I must admit, I did not know she was showing up today, but it's always fabulous to see. That means we will get some amazing action shots on the web later on.
Great stuff, yeah. And if you are obviously tuning in, do have a look at the Instagram feed, Indoor All Stars. You'll find us. We are here for the weekend. As I mentioned earlier, we've got 4 men's games, 4 women's games between this indoor select, chosen from the English National Indoor League, against this Ireland international team, men and women. And we have also got under 16 games, under 18 games. There is a lot going on this weekend at East Grinstead Sports Club. So this is just the start this evening, just these 2 games. And then I believe tomorrow morning,
Bright and early, 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Under 16 girls.
Great stuff. It's so good to see wall-to-wall indoor hockey being played. And as the Ireland team come back into the hall. So yeah, under 16 girls at 9 o'clock, under 18 girls at 10. Then we've got the under 18 boys at 11. That's followed by the second senior women's game at midday, followed by the senior men's second game between these 2 teams that you see now. That's at 1 o'clock. More under 16, under 18 games, and then the second game tomorrow for the seniors, women at 5 and the men at 6. So it is literally wall-to-wall indoor hockey, which is great to see as our All-Stars get us underway. And immediately Ireland front foot, putting them under pressure. And we've seen that so far in both games, which is great to see. And that was just a hand on the floor there, 3 points of contact, which those of you that don't know is a rule that is particular to indoor hockey, not outdoors. So you can only use 2 points of bodily contact on the floor. So if you start putting your hand down, that becomes the 3rd point of contact, which is why balance is so important. And it's a great trait to learn as a young player. The ball's bounced off those left boards. Tom Finnegan, Oxted. Ball just squeezed into the corner. And that's very cool play, that, from Sam Wood, old Georgians, England under 18. I think he plays Teddington Outdoor, but he was an absolute rock in the European Men's Club Championship. And playing really maturity beyond his years, well beyond his years. And chatting to Ashley Jackson, saying he is a great find and really one for the future. So keep an eye open for him, Sam Wood. Again, high press. The All-Stars managing to play out, but then that ball given away. AJ Small just judging there that I think it was either a foot or 3 points of contact there. So Ireland will look to get good possession in the circle. So Ireland will restart. Again, it's the All-Stars defending very well. Those passing channels into the middle of the circle, all blocked. As Patterson shoves it left. Nothing comes of that. Ireland asking for the long corner. AJ Small says no. The turnover there, I think, asking for a penalty corner, but the advantage played. And again, the carry into the circle. Whether there was some sort of stick block going on there on the top of the circle, but the umpire said no. So Faulkner will get us underway. See how quickly the ball is being moved. Running off the ball, really good from this All-Stars team. Once you get stuck in those corners, you've got to recycle it and come out. Good carry right to left. Two umpires saying, oh, no, I think. So working together there, they come to the decision in the end. Alex Miles and AJ Small, I think there was a foot. So we have penalty corner. First penalty corner for Ireland, I believe. I think it is. So Rory Patterson is on the middle. I think he will be involved in this somehow. He normally is in their penalty corner routines. So we've gone to the right. James Walker will inject. And, Ryan Williams in the middle. Patterson on the left. Yeah, the rule now is that everybody has to wear a mask at penalty corners. If you are defending, you wear a mask, and that's that.
Wow.
Well,
I'm not sure if that hit the crossbar or the brick wall behind.
I think it was the brick wall, but it was great adjustment. Really, really good skill, Williams, to just drop his right shoulder, shift his weight. He just couldn't get it on target, but bullet-like. So we are locked at 3-3. No goals for several minutes, which I think I cursed in the second quarter. So there's no surprise there. Patterson, again, no way through. So he will just keep recycling, moving the ball quickly, just trying to find that area of space where they can play down the middle. But again, it's turned over. Notice nobody diving in to tackle there. On the save. The opportunist shot coming across the front of the Ireland goal. Faulkner carries. Tries to link up with a navy blue shirt, but he can't as the substitutions are rolled once again. Just over halfway through this third quarter.
3 minutes remaining.
Sorry, 3 minutes. That's my eyesight. Going. It's great when games rush by and you look at the clock and there's hardly anything left because there's been so much going on. That was the save there from O'Keefe. Again, O'Keefe. Atoning from his error in that first minute when Haller opened the scoring for the All-Stars. But he's looked pretty solid since. So, tight game. Notice that flat sticks, keep that ball wide. That's what the All-Stars are trying to do, protecting the passing lanes down the middle of the pitch. Good carry, but the ball just ending up going behind Noel Mulvey. There's a carry. Game's opened up, no doubt about it, as we approach the last minute and a half of this third quarter. The game has become quite end-to-end. Conditioning-wise, interesting to know what these players will have been doing since, because the domestic season has, I think we're about a month gone. So we'll, unlike other sports where they'll all disappear off to Ibiza and Corfu and places like that, it'd be interesting to know what this, whether there's a few cricketers in here and whether they have been playing a bit of hockey.
Was Ibiza and Corfu a regular haunt for you in the off season?
No, I was more sort of Cromer and Hunstanton, I think was my place of choice. No, I was thinking of another sport actually. I think probably I know the Arsenal. Oh, and there's the goal. It's Haller again, gets his hat trick, and O'Keefe. Ireland not happy, but I think the goal's been given. Again, Ed Haller with the backhand. This time he flicks it high. That's his hat trick. He sort of picks his spot, Haller. That's what's so good about. He's a natural poacher, a finisher. Yeah, I think end of the football season. I think most will disappear, won't they, for a month? But hockey a little bit different. And well, we don't really want to see that chap's Instagram, but we just.
Hopefully, we couldn't see his password.
Yes,
I hope he wasn't looking at anything he shouldn't have been looking at.
Yes, exactly.
Or maybe texting his girlfriend.
So 4-3 penalty corner, and but the buzzer has gone. So this could be a real dagger to the heart for this Irish team. And Haller is on. Haller and Carson. Now I'm thinking, is this going to be a Wimbledon OG? So you mentioned earlier, Simon, the Southwest London connection. Normally enemies, but now they're together. I think Haller might shoot here. We shall see. He doesn't. Well, the slip. Oh, the two umpires are going to discuss this, I think. I thought that was clean, but they're saying. I'm not quite sure whether they're saying that was flicked from outside or whether the ball didn't actually go outside the circle, but the shot was certainly from inside because the angle of it, I thought Hauler had actually messed that slip and played it too far in front. Anyway.
Well, the scoreboard inside shows 4-3.
So disallowed. Yep, disallowed. So a slender lead for the All-Stars as we reach this last minute. Kenny Carroll there. A few, as we've mentioned before, there's really not much you can do. This 1 minute is about just reinforce tactical plan, reinforce a couple of things. Where are the gaps? Where's the weakness? Where do you attack? Do you go down the left foot? What area of the pitch do we want to get the ball? A couple of messages. That's all that is needed. I think the Jacksons will be pretty happy. And it's just that last minute. As Ewan Murray, officer in the Irish Army, takes over from Stephen O'Keefe. So the All-Stars get us away for this final quarter of today's offering here. We've had the women's game where Ireland and the All-Stars fought out a 1-1 draw. Walker trying to create space in the circle, but just surrounded by flat sticks. Has to recycle. And there's I think by the sounds of things, his East Grinstead faithful are in tonight. As he went to ground.
I think they may well be because there's been a big outdoor TV screen installed for the World Cup and the Champions League. So tonight's probably tomorrow night will be a good training night for them with the Champions League final.
Right. I thought you were going to say, Simon, that there's a massive screen out there showing this. And that people have flocked from all around Sussex to...
Well, there is a big screen in the bar and they are watching this, but thankfully I think they've turned the sound down.
Well, thanks for that compliment.
No, that didn't come out the way I intended.
So, actually, talking about commentary and commentators, I have to give a shout out today to somebody who I've spent many, many years watching indoor hockey and sitting next to, Nick Irvine, who it's his 50th wedding anniversary. He is in Croatia, Porec, where the Indoor World Cup... No, he is actually... He told me he enjoyed oysters for breakfast on his 50th wedding anniversary. And here is... So, Nick, if you are watching, unlikely. He knows we're here. Congratulations.
Actually, I'd say, Nick, if you're watching, put a comment in the chat. Thoroughly enjoyed our chat in Poland before the Women's Euros. Studiously making notes, he was.
Does his research, does
yeah,
Nick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So, penalty corner chance for the All-Stars to extend their lead. No Hauler on the pitch. So, it's Max Lowry is to flick. I think he might possibly slip this to Simon Faulkner. No, he doesn't. Drags and flicks, but the save from Mackay.
Lots and lots of changes. It looks like both teams are basically switching the entire 5 each time.
Yeah, I think that I'm chatting to the coaches earlier today. I think when you have a team who will struggle with their connections because they're not playing a lot of indoor hockey. Oh, and there's the equaliser. That's a brilliant finish. And the pace and power on that. And again, it's the ability to just create that extra space to get the shot in. So outside your right foot, create space, flick high, really good finish and 4-4. Yeah, coming back to your point, I think when you have teams who are not necessarily in tune with each other, where they've come together, this All-Stars team this afternoon, it's much as they go on the... Oh, and there's a spin, and Haller gets his 4th end-to-end. All-Stars in the lead. Substitutions. Yep, 5 for 5. So you develop a working relationship between the 5 that go on. And in a weekend like this, it's much better than subbing in sort of spits and spats and having one come on and one off, and having 2 set 5s. They develop this relationship, which is really important. So 4-3. And it's at the moment, it's the difference really. Haller's finishing has been the difference between the two teams. That last goal he scored just created that space with the spin away from the keeper and picked his spot. So Ireland under pressure. Carson in there. Ireland come away with it. Again, ringing the changes. Actually, very quick that change from the last change. I wonder whether there's been some sort of tactical message to this 5 that have just gone on. Press coming in, understandably so, for just under 4.5 minutes left in this one. This is a 4-game series, game 1 of 4. 2 tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. Very theatrical spin and fall there from Williams.
Very quick reactions.
See that the All-Stars are not protecting their lead, so they're not sitting back and saying, right, we've got the lead now, we'll hold on to it. It's hockey on the front foot, and when you go around the world, you see a lot of this, which is we tend to be a little bit risk averse in England, where we sit back and protect what we've got rather than getting on the front foot. See, they've got on the front foot here, and Haller carries into the circle. Manages to play it. It comes outside the left foot of Tom Finnegan. Get even shorter spells for this Irish team. He have? Oh, that's given away. Chance. A save. And another chance. Double save. Guy with the double save. Ball just cheaply given away. 3 metres out. And the pressure being piled on from this All-Stars team. Here's a counter-attack chance. Walker. Plays onto the forehand. Farrant is turned over. The game's gone absolutely bonkers for the last minute, 2 minutes. It's real counter-attack. Countering the counter. It's actually a tactic in Germany. Oh, that's a chance. That was their, I think that was their opportunity. Just couldn't quite get the connection on the backhand. Again, Faulkner finds Jackson. Ireland have to get the ball back here. So they chase this game somebody like Simon Faulkner in the situation 5-4 up. That's a great bit of individual skill. So final stages of this one. Slim lead, 5-4 for the All-Stars. Seen some great individual skills on show here in both games. So far, we should be in for some real treats over the weekend. This game has become a little frenetic, started high pace, and has become a bit frenetic at the end, but two teams, obviously for Ireland, desperately trying to break down. Oh, lovely spin and a double spin. Shot on target there, but just a little bit too physical. The elbow just coming in. Lovely double spin, and that, I think, will be that. So, well, that was tight. And the All-Stars sneak it, inspired by a 4-goal salvo from the Wimbledon star Ed Horler. But a real competitive game, a lot of high skill, technically, tactically. If we have 3 replicas of that, I think we'll be pretty happy. So thank you very much for joining us for this first couple of games here in this Grays Invitational here at East Grinstead. We've seen the women fight out a 1-1 draw. Ireland and the All-Stars 11, who both goals scored in the first quarter. And in this one, a tight 5-4 win for the All-Stars against Ireland. So more to come tomorrow. So there's junior games tomorrow morning from 9 o'clock. We'll hope to see you also then at midday and 1 p.m. Women's game followed by the men's game. Hope you've enjoyed that. It's been great. Simon and I have really enjoyed the last couple of hours with you, and we look forward, hopefully, join us tomorrow.
Thank you very much, everybody.